Yes, guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, The Game On Challenge, Part 41. Now, since Part 40, we of course had that little update of me walking down the road like a fucking spastic, telling you we had a bit of breaking news. I can tell you we've had more breaking news since then. So let's start with Matt. Now, you may recall what I said on that last update was that Matt had moved to Borussia Dortmund, and he had a remarkable first season, the year 2035/36. He finished it unbeaten. He won the title. He won the UEFA Cup. Season 2, shall I say, his second season at Dortmund, 36-37. He retained the title, as you can see. He did lose a couple of games. I will point out, he won the Champions League. He did brilliant, to be fair to him. He did absolutely remarkable. The Champions League was always the big thing for Matt. There's no doubt about that. I think there was a little bit of rivalryness, because I struggled with the Champions League with Dortmund. The league is pretty straightforward. So it begs the question, really, where does Matt sit with Dortmund after 2 seasons and pretty much job done? Well, you can see... we're well into season 37 and he's on 8 wins out of 8, and he does have a real remarkable squad. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you may recall he brought in Corti, the Batistuta regen, who was just fucking ridiculous last season. He's brought some absolute stunners. I think that is Beckham, by the way. He's brought some really good players. He really, the wealthiness at Dortmund of like 500-600 million pounds is just outrageous. It really is. And then, of course, let's just quickly flick you through last season's... hang on. That was last season, sorry. This is this season. He's brought some absolute stunning players. That's a Harry Kewell region. So, we've really got to give him credit where it's due here. That was his last one. Solid signing. Give him credit where it's due. He's been absolutely brilliant. There you see he won the Champions League last season. Let's just have a look at the German Cup. Second round. He won it in his first season. So his last season, winning the Champions League was certainly a good enough substitute for getting knocked out the German Cup early on. So from Matt's point of view, there is a real big question as to where the future lies of him. But. Let's talk about me for a minute. Cast your mind back, that last update, me walking down the road, I told you that I had moved to Middlesbrough and we won the title. And I was maybe looking at if the right job came along. Now, the right job did come along, funnily enough, because that season I won the league with Middlesbrough. The side that finished runners-up in the German league was Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin came available. I will point out, I'm no longer Hertha Berlin. I've had 1 season at Hertha Berlin. They had some good money, good stadium, and they had a relatively good squad, to be fair. The Jap there was a fucking great player. Now, we brought in... were they all mine? Some of them were... some of these were not my players. So, we finished runners-up again in the German league. Behind Matt. We didn't have a bad season. It was a bit of a tough season, but it wasn't a bad season. And I think, in hindsight, it was a very successful season because we're the ones that lost in the Champions League final to Matt. So, all in all, it was actually a very, very good season, I think it would be fair to say. We got knocked out of the Cup semis to Nürnberg. And spoiler alert, you prick. We have moved to Bayern Munich. The job came available. We've surrendered Champions League. Bayern Munich came available. And the bottom line is, we are now in a position where we can compete with Matt almost, particularly from the stadium perspective and the money perspective. You can see 540 odd million pounds. Squad, not yet. We had 2 pre-arranged deals, one of which, funnily enough, was from Hertha Berlin, which was Rossi. And the other one that was already a pre-arranged deal was... I forget who the other one... It was that guy, Lang. So our 7 signings, a former player of ours, of course. That's a Maldini region who's currently serving a long ban for a fucking punch. We brought in some good players. I mean, Ferry... I think that's either Barthez or Sebastian Frey, one or the other. That is Zidane. He was at Hertha Berlin already, causing a lot of problems. Of course, when I left Hertha Berlin, I took him with me. Makes sense. So far this season, We've had a bit of a tough start. I don't expect us to be challenging for the title. I expect us to be challenging in that top elite positions, top 4. We are in the UEFA Cup. Matt has started ruthless. Now, going back to what I said about Matt, now where does Matt sit? I think there's every more chance that Matt could think about routes with regards Dortmund. The money's at Dortmund. The squad is at Dortmund. I may be wrong, and he may look at it. I mean, he may look at an option to go back to Italy. Who knows? For me, it's probably going to be at least a 2-year stint. Who knows what the future holds? A little bit of a fucking screwed up setup, but I'm having a little bit of I'll say luck with it. We're dominating some games. Well, that one we didn't. Clearly, we didn't. But we've got a couple of. I played Matt. And I was so fucking angry. I was so fucking angry at the red cards. So I'm probably not 100% content on my formation yet. It'll probably be this sort of base. But it now really is a question as to what the future holds. In terms of Bayern Munich, as I said, we've got over the £500 million mark. And, you know, we've got a hell of a stadium. We've got a hell of a facility set up. We need at least another window to put us, you know, I mean, probably 2 windows, to be honest with you. So, this is where we're at, you know. Have we reached roots? You know, the thing about Germany, the non-EC rule does take effect, but it is 5. You're allowed 5 non-ECs in any matchday squad, which is pretty generous, if the truth be told. But like I said, Matt has certainly got a much stronger squad than me, by far. He's got a much stronger squad, which puts me under little pressure. There's a part of me that thinks Matt probably gets a little bit bored, and he has said a few times about going back to Italy, and we've both said that about roots in Italy, Inter and AC. Why did we ever fucking leave? Let me remind you now then that we are both, as managers, 71 years of age, and we've got very similar attributes as well. We've got no adaptability, probably got no loyalty, to truth be told. And in terms of just a quick glance there at Matt's history, that can be fitted all on one page. Don't want to point it out here, Matt, but there's a sack in there for Matt. And as I said, this is his 3rd stint at Dortmund, as you can see. I think the only teams he's not won the title with, so let's just say Leeds he did, PSG he didn't, Dortmund he did, Ajax did, Inter he did, Real he did, United he did, Dortmund he did, PSG unfinished business, Milan he did, Chelsea he didn't, Juventus he didn't, so he hadn't won a title for a long period of time there. From Milan to Barcelona he did, back to Milan, PSV he didn't at PSV, and he has at Dortmund. So quite a hell of a record for Matt indeed. And now let's talk about myself. Again, 71 years of age, like I said, very similar attributes, shitty adaptability of course. And in terms of jobs, Liverpool we did, PSG we did, Valencia we did, Lazio, PSV, Leeds, Porto, eventually we did, PSV we did again, Dortmund, of course we didn't at Dortmund. Biggest regret was leaving Dortmund in my first spell in charge. Considering we didn't leave, I mean, what was it, nearly 2 seasons? Liverpool we did, PSG we did, Bayern Munich we did, Arsenal we did, Dortmund, the second time around we did, Inter we did, River we did, Manchester United we did, Real Madrid I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we didn't do it at Real Madrid. Dortmund we did on our last stint. Barcelona, the Belgian side, our last we didn't. Middlesbrough we did, Hertha we didn't, and here we are at Bayern Munich in the year 2037. It's going to be crazy, isn't it? So we've already kicked off the German Cup, which we are out of. We got knocked out. Matt is through to the 3rd round. Now, talking of Matt, Matt was also in the World Club Cup, the World Championship, whatever you call it, and he beat Hertha Berlin in the final. Now, when I took over Hertha Berlin, as I said, they finished runners-up, and they also won the UEFA Cup. That's why they're in that. But credit where it's due to Matt, although we do think that this competition's a shower of shit. Just like the Matt also won the League Cup. He beat me in the final of that this season. But again, it's a fucking useless bullshit competition because no one's ever fit. Let me know your views, your predictions. I've, you know, without trying to play too many mind games. It's all for Matt. I've just got to hope he has a bad run and he gets a few long-term injuries or something. I'm hoping for something. So that is where we're at then with our Game On Challenge, part 41. It's crazy. It is crazy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want anything doing on CM, let me know. We've got a little bit installed in terms of content. And the next update will probably be me walking down the road like a fucking spastic. Till next time from me, guys. Take it easy.